What do I believe? I believe in science, rationality, logic, biology, geology, anthropology, physics, mathematics. I believe in the power of human reason to try to understand the world around them, to try to make sense of the world around them. I don't adhere to any organized religion. I believe organized religion is a product of mankind imagination, fairy tales, anthropomorphic ideas and conceptions, trying to fit the world into what we like the world to be, and not how the world really is. But do I believe in a higher power? You could say that I do have some sort of mystical and superstitious side of me. I do believe, without any proof whatsoever, that there is a higher power that I would say that if you would tell me, Ari, what's your religion? I would consider myself a deist. I am a deist. I believe in God. And I respect atheists. I respect agnostics. I know where they're coming from. But I believe it's a very human thing to believe. Humans need to believe. Most humans believe in something at one point or the other. Even those who claim not to believe will be hard pressed, to believe under certain circumstances. But I am vehemently, vehemently opposed to organized religion and doctrine and dogma. It destroys the rationality of men. It takes away their thirst of knowledge. It indoctrinates them, turns them into robots. It takes away their individuality and their creativity as human beings. I don't like organized religion. It brainwashes men. It takes away their rationality, their free thinking, their ability to think, logically and to come to conclusions through their own analysis. And I think, you study modern philosophy, especially 17th and 18th century philosophy. I'm referring to John Locke, David Hume, the empiricist school of thought. You will realize that most revealed scripture is nothing but inventions and myths and fairy tales created by men, especially ancient men, to explain the natural world, to provide a place for man to create a meaningful existence. But we are on the 21st century. So when I come across some dogmatic, religious asshole, I'm shocked to see their lack of, education and just their ignorance and their bigotry and their bullshit, essentially. It really is a lot of bullshit, like George Carlin said. But how do you create meaning in life? Let's say you were atheist. How do you create meaning in life without a God figure? Well, personally, although I'm deist, when it comes to philosophy, I am an existentialist. And what is an existentialist? An existentialist is a person that believes that they can make their own meaning. Life doesn't have to have meaning. You can create your own meaning, in your life. And that's the meaning for you. It might not be the meaning for the objective universe. It might not have an objective meaning, but to you, it has a subjective meaning. To you, it has that, personal meaning. And Sartre, I like Sartre a lot. But I also like Camus. I think Camus really is a very interesting figure. Albert Camus um, is a absurdism. Well, absurdism is a philosophy. Absurdism is a philosophy that essentially believes that no matter what you do, you can't escape the absurdity of life. Life is essentially, at its essence, absurd. And what is the absurd? The absurd is the natural world. The absurd is the universe. The absurd are those powerful forces outside of you that superimpose their will upon you. You may want to do A, or you might want to do B, or you may want to do C, but then you hit a brick wall, so to speak. That is the absurd. And the absurd is supreme. It's that randomness. It's that randomness that comes with natural selection, with evolution. It's that randomness that comes with, living in our world as we know it. And it's the futility of transcending that absurdity. That is that absurdity is supreme. But Camus didn't despair. And I've been drinking a little bit of alcohol, so obviously you must forgive me if my English is fucked up. But that absurdity, according to Camus, can be transcended. How do you transcend that absurdity? Well, the way you do it is by fighting on. You fight on, no matter what. You push the rock up the hill, even though the rock will ultimately crush you. You still go through the motions to push the rock, because that's what life is. It's a struggle. You don't struggle, you're not living. You don't push the rock, you're not living. That's what life is. So you should always never give up. Always fight on, even though you will die anyways. And no matter what you do, at the end of the day, you will have nothing to show for it. But it's going through the motions. It's fighting. It's a struggle. That is what Nietzsche will refer to the average man, or the superman that superimposes his will upon the natural order, but it does so by its sheer will. It does so by its strength. Now, do we have to be totally immoral just because there's not a God? Talking about atheism, right? I don't think so. Yeah, sure, you can come to the conclusion that morality is relative, so it really doesn't matter whether you're wicked or righteous, because we die anyways. But I believe that we're not animals. We are animals, but we aren't. We are animals, but we have reason and we have intellect, so we are able to distinguish, at a higher level, how things affect other people and society at large. So I am a humanist at heart. I believe that we should strive to make the world a better place. We should strive to be all we can be, to help our fellow human beings, to make the world a better place. Not because you're gonna be rewarded when you die, but it's just the right thing to do. Like Socrates said, when Socrates was confronted with moral relativity, he answered, why should I do the right thing? Because it's good. You do the right thing for goodness sake, so to speak. You don't do the right thing because you're gonna go to heaven and play with little angels and walk in a rainbow. You do the right thing because you're trying to make the world a better place. You're trying to have a positive impact upon the world that you were born in. And you don't need any reward or punishment to do that. That should be something that will come out of your own sense of humanity, will come out of your own sense of self, of moral duty. But unfortunately, the history of man is filled with episodes of inhumanity and cruelty. So one of the classic examples, one of the textbooks examples, is the Holocaust, the annihilation of the Jewish race, the Jewish people, um, by the Nazis. That was cruel and that was inhuman in every sense of the word. And the fact that we were able to do that, shows us that humans can be extraordinarily evil, but they can also be extraordinarily good. They can also build, not only destroy. We have the capacity to be evil, just like we have the capacity to be good. It's up to us to create our own destinies. It's up to us to protect our environment. It's up to us to create a more equal and just society. It's up to us to make these things happen. Evil will only prevail when good men do nothing about it. As long as there's good men, evil will never prevail. So I encourage every man and woman to fight the good fight and to continue to making the world a better place.